speaking about the broader ecosystem of influencers, of recovery, of sobriety, and how it can oftentimes be this like polar opposite of actual experience versus what folks are promoting their experience of sobriety being on the internet and on social platforms. I've personally I tap into Instagram, I tap into TikTok, a lot of these social platforms as a proxy community for myself when it comes to finding solace in the decisions that I've made and seeing other people do fantastic things. But I do see some influencers who, almost make it seem as though it is all roses and it is all daffodils, to quote, past guests that I've spoken to. And we know that that's not the case. And the reason why I bring it up is because I was reading this other article on The Guardian, and this literally came all the way from Australia. And it was written by a woman by the name of Ashley Davenport, and she just happens to be a white woman. But she's sober 3 months at the time of writing this article. And this is the title. It's "I stopped drinking 3 months ago. It's not as simple as the internet makes it look. Influencer sobriety is a world where alcohol addiction is history, but it's all too neat." And I'll link this as well in the show notes. But I think that we all have to be, number one, non-judgmental, right? Like, I think that the space of sobriety and recovery is a space that we want to make sure that is safe for all who want to enter in, regardless of whether or not you're a person of color, you're black, white, brown, whatever the case may be. I think you want a space that's safe for people to walk into. But also, I think it's important to paint a picture and create a narrative of honesty and pragmatism when it comes to sobriety and recovery. And more oftentimes than not, it is actually more challenging than not. And I am now approaching 3 years sobriety myself, and I come into circumstance, experience every day in my life that is extremely challenging. Realities of life as an adult with responsibilities that in my past, when I was drinking, it was really easy for me to be able to numb myself of those things, right? I would drink a couple bottles of wine and everything was cool. So yes, there are a lot of beautiful things that come with sobriety. All of the health benefits that we see swirling around, all of the mental benefits that we see swirling around. But at the same time, for those who suffered from some degree of addiction and substance use disorder, there are aspects of recovery and sobriety that are extremely challenging, that are extremely uncomfortable, that one has never really had to face head on and look in the mirror at in a long time. So I just want to level set for those who are out there who are looking at this very skewed version of what sobriety and recovery can look like, both across the community, across all culture. It is probably the best decision that you will ever make for yourself, but it is not going to be a cakewalk. You will have your fantastic days where you hear the birds sing louder and the lights are brighter and the sounds of music are that much sweeter, but then you're also going to have those times where you're extremely challenged. And I think that that's where your toolkit, that's where your support system, that's where your community that you found, that's where a lot of the work that you're giving back into the community is going to play to your benefit, to keep you on that path of betterment. So